What was once the Polk County Courthouse now serves as the Polk County History Center and houses the Historical Museum and Library. The museum serves Polk's community through special events, volunteer opportunities, and educational programs. More details are coming up next on Polk Place. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host, Tina Mann, and joining me in the studio today is Murtis Young, the Historic Preservation Manager at the Polk County History Center.
Tina, I'm delighted to be with you in March. I guess that's the Ides of March.
I can't even believe we are to March, but it is one of my favorite months because as a woman, it is Women's History Month. And here at the county, we take this very seriously, especially at the History Center. So why don't you tell us about what we're doing to celebrate?
Oh, I am so excited to be able to share with everybody that once again, the Smithsonian Institution Traveling Exhibit Services has curated an exhibit through the National Portrait Gallery featuring women inventors. It is a beautiful exhibit that we are fortunate enough to have and will be able to share with the public. And in addition to that, we have curated a local section of that featuring women who are our local celebrities, women who inspire, women who are innovators, women who have accomplished good things to improve the community. And you'll be able to visit with them in this exhibit that will be on display here at the Board of County Commissioners building in the lobby for the entire month of March. So women history featured right here.
I think that's pretty awesome because most of the time your exhibits, of course, are at the History Center, but we're close partners with you, and not everybody knows that. So hopefully through having a display here in our lobby, it'll be an opportunity for people to realize, hey, the History Center falls under our umbrella, and it's one of our, most well-kept secrets. So I'm really excited about it. I know it's going to feature people like Carol Jenkins Burnett and Carla Foreman Wright and Jennifer Smurr, who owns Born and Bred Bakehouse. So all the way from historic figures all the way to people who are currently making a big impact in our society. So in addition to that, we always encourage people to go check out some of the exhibits over at the History Center. So what are those?
Well, the two exhibits that are in place that bring to mind the accomplishments of women in nationally and regionally and locally is Very Much a Lady is a very interesting exhibit to come and see. That's our collection of vintage attire. In addition to that, we have the exhibit that is the 19th Amendment. It's the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote. And again, it's a story of national contributions as well as regional and local, the influence of local women on that very, very important time in history. And the other little piece of that, we're so excited. This is a little bit new, but on Flashback Fridays, through the Facebook page of the county, we're going to have women who are going to be featured throughout the month on that. And
that's going to be on videos that one of our very own PGTV producers create, and they are wonderful. So I'm excited to see all of those. So that's Women's History Month. So let's talk about the normal programming at the History Center. I think first up would be the cemetery tour.
That is correct. And March is still a pretty nice month in terms of the weather and being out, being able to get out and not being too hot. So again, it's just join our Curator of Education, Jamie Jameson, at the History Center at 11. And that's going to be March 6th. For a walking tour down to the Oak Hill Cemetery to take a walk through history and learn about early pioneers and people who had a very significant influence on Polk County. It's just a great way to immerse yourself in a little history at the Oak Hill Cemetery.
Learn something you may not have otherwise learned. Speaking of walking and tours, you kind of have a cool program for Zoom and Vroom that incorporates something that you guys became a part of, I believe, back in 2015, 2016. So talk to me about Florida Stories.
Florida Stories is a program that was actually developed by the Florida Humanities, and they've gone around the state and given different sites an opportunity to create a historical walking tour. And early on, Bartow and Lake Wales were included in that. So you can download the app and really visit historic sites all over the state of Florida. But Zoom and Vroom for the March program is going to take advantage of Florida Stories. We're going to take a little tour all the way from Lake Wales to Tarpon Springs. And it's just a great way Jamie has developed that program. It has different components. The Zoom portion is featuring, Jamie will feature some information about the program. We have subject experts who join us and talk about specific areas of the Zoom and Vroom program. Jamie creates a package to pick up with little guide, things to guide you around, things to look for, things to do, little amenities to help you enjoy your trip. So it is one of our most exciting programs we're doing right now, Zoom and Vroom, and it is Florida Stories. Download the app, tour all over the state of Florida in your living room, sitting in your comfortable chair.
And I love it because it appeals to every single age. She has crafts, she's got activities, she's got photo props. It's so creative and so fun, and I'm so glad you guys have started that this year. So I'm looking forward to taking a tour, so I think everybody else should too.
I love it.
And if they want to stay a little bit more local, we're, as always, offering the architectural tour on March 20th. So what is our featured element this month?
One of our favorite stories about the preservation of the architecture of that building happens to wrap around the blueprints themselves. So we're going to take a look at the restoration process of the courthouse and actually have an opportunity to look at, these are kept in a very, very safe place, the original blueprints and what they look like all the way back in 1908. So it'll be a fun time to come and walk around the building.
I've had an opportunity to see him, and it's so fascinating how Preston gets his gloves and he handles them so very carefully because they are delicate. You want to keep them preserved, and it's just fascinating watching him, so careful. And I mean, he's younger, so you kind of attribute that kind of carefulness to older people in general. I know that's stereotyping probably, but he's so reverent and careful about it, and they're beautiful.
They are.
They're so pretty. I mean, most everything now is computer generated, so to think of them actually drawing back then, but it's so precise. It's
Correct.
so precise. It looks like it could have come from a computer, but I'm an architecture lover, so I love all the old stuff with regard to that. So speaking of Preston, he has this awesome program going for the genealogy series that they're doing via Zoom, which is coming up on March 27th. So what can we expect this month?
Well, Gail Laundrie, who is a member of the Lakeland chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution, has presented before. She is truly a subject expert on discovering the history of your ancestor. If you are interested in applying for membership in DAR, or you're just interested in your Revolutionary War ancestry, she is very, 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 very talented in this area of research and does a great program. We, again, we're so fortunate to be able to offer this in a Zoom format, so you can enjoy your coffee at home and take in a little bit of history on how to research your genealogy to discover more about your American Revolutionary War ancestor.
That's awesome. And you guys always offer such interesting programming. So as always, I encourage everybody to come visit you at the History Center. So thank you for coming today.
Thank you. And we too invite everyone to come play with us.
Polk County has a rich history and heritage, and the Polk County History Center is continuously thinking of new ways to help Polk residents experience that history. The museum's collection includes natural and cultural objects related to Polk and the greater Central Florida area that represent our history from pre-Columbian to present-day eras. The artifacts on display at the museum represent individuals, cultural groups, and events significant to the region. Located at 100 East Main Street in Bartow, the History Center is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. For more information about exhibits and events, you can check them out on the web at polkhistorycenter.org or give them a call at 863-534-4386.